committee, the sessional committee on county public accounts and investments, and this statements regard the activities of various committees. And pursuant to Standing Order 52.1, the Senate Majority Leader will issue a statement on the business of the Senate for the week commencing Tuesday, 17th May 2022. This afternoon, the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2022, will be read for the first time by the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. The principal object of this bill is to make provision for the transfer of conditional allocation from national government share of revenue and from development partners to the county governments for the financial year 2021-2022. Clause 1 of the bill provides for the short title, while Clause 2 defines the various terms used in the bill. The third clause contains the object of the bill, which is to provide for the allocation of conditional grants to county governments for the financial year 2021-2022 and to provide for the transfer of these conditional allocations from the consolidated fund to the respective county revenue fund. There will be a debate on various bills which are in the second reading stage. The County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2022, the Landlord and Tenant Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2021, the Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 29 of 2020, the Election Campaign Financing Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 51 of 2021, the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2021, the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 55 of 2021, the Sugar Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2019, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 32 of 2021, the Circle Societies Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 55 of 2021, the Sustainable Waste Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2021, the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bills number 19 of 2021, and finally, the County E-Health Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2021 by Senator Judith Pareno. If you're just joining us, these are some of the bills which will be debated today, and thereafter there will be division so that the senators can decide on whether or not this bill should proceed to the next stage. If you're just joining us, the business of the Senate is about to commence now. I will hand you over for this live broadcast, which has been made possible by the KBC and PBU. My name is Edward Kabasa. Good afternoon.
Honorable Senators, let us pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
The chairperson, national cohesion, equal opportunity, and regional integration. The chairperson seems not to be there, so deferred. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, 12th May 2022. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Narok County Bursaries Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, we have communication from the Chair on the visiting teachers and students from Maliku Girls Secondary School, Kitui County. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting teachers and students from Maliku Girls Secondary School in Kitui County, who are on academic trip. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. Senator Faria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to join you in welcoming the students from Malimu Secondary School from Kitui. And I want to assure them that they have a great leader here who represents them in this Senate, Senator Enoch Wambua. I also want to assure them that the political future of this country belongs to women. So I want to encourage those great ladies seated on the public gallery to ensure that they join political arena in their future, whether as a political person in terms of running for a member of National Assembly, member of this great house, member of any. And I also have a dream that one day the president of this country will be a woman. We have the numbers and we need to take advantage of that. And I want to assure ladies, you have a great opportunity. And if you looked at the trends of even school performance, girls' schools have been doing well. So I want to encourage you to work hard. I want to encourage you to create linkages. I want to encourage you in life. It is the linkages that you make with your colleagues that matter in the future. And you make sure that you don't lose, your colleagues along the way as you go to universities, as you go and work. Make sure that at least you hold each other's hands. The only way women can succeed in this country is if we hold each other's hand. And we have sung about two-third gender rule for too long. It is high time women decided this is our time. It is high time women decided we shall vote each other. And I encourage you to encourage your parents. If you see any woman in a ballot box, please tick, because she is going to make you very proud. We are tired of all these men that we keep on recycling. It is time for women in the leadership in this country, and I see a great future in this country.
What is it, Senator Omugeni?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Senator Faria, who is my good friend, is doing very well in welcoming our students from Kitui. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to get guidance from you whether the language he's using is parliamentary language by saying that we are tired of these men we keep recycling. Is that language parliamentary, Mr. Speaker?
Senator, proceed. But please mind your language, because I don't think people are recycled. They are voted. If a person is performing, then they can be voted. That's not recycling.
Mr. Speaker, some of them are not performing and people keep on electing them. That's why I have a problem with that recycling, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Senator. You cannot doubt the people of Kenya who vote for that person. Performance is about the people who vote. It's not about another person seated somewhere else. So please, mind your language.
Okay, let me not pursue that line, but all I am encouraging Kenyans is to elect the right leaders. And I think one of the reasons that I think women will make a great change in this country, because I think our development would have reached a greater height if more women were elected to leadership positions. Because we have a situation whereby more than 50% of the population do not have a say in the decisions that are made in this country. And we are still, on all fields, we are still struggling to raise the 2/3, even the gender rule. So I think it's high time women voted for other women. We can take, people are talking about 2/3 gender, but I think we can be, I think we can be more, the 2/3 that people are complaining we can be, because we are more than half of this country. So I urge you, please encourage all the people you have influence over to vote for women for greater change in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Faria. Senator Dr. Agnes Zani.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to join you in welcoming our teachers and students from Maliku Girls Secondary School in Kitui County. This is the Senate of Kenya. And I'm sure by now you've already got the gist of how we work in Parliament. We have 2 houses in Parliament. We have the National Assembly. Maybe you'll get a chance to visit there. And then we also have the Senate. The Senate focuses on counties because of a very great development that we did as a country, and that is devolution. Through devolution, we hope to devolve socio-economic rights, opportunities to everybody in Kenya, including the girls, and especially the girls, because your potential is still yet to be reaped. There's so much for the girls, Mr. Speaker, from this country. The leadership of this country is waiting for you. You have a step to make in this country. We've made our step in our time. We're hoping that you'll make yours later. I'm happy you're here this afternoon to hear us, the senators, debate on various issues. We deal with issues within the counties, financial management within the counties, how money is appropriated at the county level, how social and economic systems work within the counties. We lobby for counties to get money. We follow through with oversight to make sure that the money that has gone to the county is used for the various development projects that is meant to be used. We want to ensure that IFMIS systems and management systems within the counties are working. So there's a lot of work. But you have a role to play too. And I can tell you the future is bright. The future is female. The future is bright. I want to encourage you in your studies as you proceed to build yourself and your nation, that you do a good job, and God will bless you. And I'm sure one day you'll stand tall and proud as a young girl from Kenya. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Agnes. Senator Gertrude Msulve. She's online.
girls into the Senate, and I want to congratulate their teachers for allowing them to come to the Senate. And this is a great opportunity for girls to be mentored, for them to really have, hands-on on what happens in Parliament. And I would like to encourage the girls to work very hard in school, because girls, you have the time. This is the opportunity you have to decide your destiny, because it is through education that will decide on what your future will be like. Some of you, I can see, in this house, some of these girls, I can see them being doctors. Some of them, I can see them being legislators. Some of them, I can see them being nurses. Some of them, I can see them, driving Kenya into greater heights. But this can only be realized through school. And I want to tell you girls that it is, we have reached a time when girls are coming out of their shells and even deciding the shape of the family, the shape of the nation, and the shape of the universe. So I just want to encourage you to work hard so that you become great leaders in this country. You become also useful in nation building. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
Senator Wambua.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to join you and my colleagues to welcome the visiting delegation of students and teachers from Maliku Girls Secondary School. Maliku Girls, Mr. Speaker, is one of the girls' schools in Kitui County. It's situated in Kitui Rural Constituency, which was recently hived from Kitui Central Constituency in Kisasi Ward. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome the students, the brilliant girls and their teachers to this chamber, and to tell them that this is where their able senator, who a lot of people like calling the super senator of Kitui County, deals with issues of devolution and push the agenda of funds following functions in Kitui County. I want to encourage them and their teachers to continue working hard. It is a school that performs fairly well, but there is always room for improvement. If your senator came from the same county, went to a school like your school, I was educated at Matinyane Boys before I joined Moi University. Then I went to the Catholic University of Eastern Africa before I went to Cairo and later to the US for studies. If I have followed that path from a beginning as humble as yours, then there is every reason to believe that these beautiful girls and their teachers can do much better than I did, and that one day we'll have one of them in this chamber as a senator and others serving this country in different capacities. The Speaker, I welcome the girls and their teachers, and I will see them behind the tent after this session. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements.
Senator Beth Mogo.
Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity for me also to greet the students and teachers, and also to welcome them to the Senate. I think I stand with the words said earlier by the Deputy Whip, Majority Faya, and Honorable, all those who have spoken welcoming the girls. Because for many years now, for me, the last now almost 30 years, which I have served in this parliament, starting from the National Assembly and now Senate, I have talked about women and girls and advancement. Indeed, I moved the motion for affirmative action in Parliament soon after Beijing, and that's Conference for Women. And that's how it was found its way to Bomas, because Parliament passed it and recommended it to Bomas and the chairmanship of Guy. And that's how the affirmative action found its way to our Constitution. So we should not be ashamed to speak and to say that time is ripe for women to hold high positions in this country. And there is no harm. I don't think Senator Fahia spoke anything derogatory by saying it's time we should also elect women to high positions. When I was first elected in Dagoretti in 1997, so a lady said to my husband, when my husband was wearing a cap supporting me, I'm going to elect a woman. What can a woman do for me? That was the mentality then. So what Fahia is saying, it's not that mentality anymore. Women, we must get up and support other women. And if we do that, we can win any seat in this country. We are not saying that the men will not be the presidents, but we want also women to share and be presidents sometimes. And that time is now. But of course, we don't have a woman who is competing at the moment. But I want to say and to emphasize what Fahia said. We have parliaments in this Africa, like Rwanda, where women are majority in parliament, and there are many in the Senate. And then, in the National Assembly. And we have seen in Scandinavian countries, which has majority women leaders, even to the highest office, they are highly developed. So, and I think that's what Senator Fahia was saying, that women are development conscious. So we should have a mix of leadership. And we are hoping that even Azimio will see sense to this and have a woman for the deputy president. That we start with. Mother Kara is there, who is doing very well and who has served a long time in government in very high positions. So we support, but we are not saying the men should not. I think we should not be mistaken for that. So welcome, and I want to encourage you that you can reach any height. Of course, your own governor, who I have worked with in Parliament and in cabinet for a long time, you have a good role model just next door. So we thank your Senator who really stands with you, and that's how you found your way here. And we hope you will take home something to the other girls. Work hard, do well. And we have seen women are even leading, girls are leading in the exams these days. Karibuni, welcome, and we stand with you. Thank you, Speaker. Oh, and the teachers. I'm sorry, Speaker. I should also include and thank the teachers. I address so much the girls. If without the teachers, we wouldn't be here. And you girls, you wouldn't be here. Thank you, teachers. I was a teacher myself. That was my first job. And I'm a trained teacher. So I know how hard work the teachers do. Thank you, Speaker, for allowing me.
Senator Beth Mogo, you can proceed with your personal statement.
Thank you, Speaker. I wish to make a personal statement under Standing Order number 53 in order to express my gratitude to this House, honorable members, honorable Speaker, Board of Management, and the staff for standing with me following the sad passing on of my dear husband, Ambassador Nicholas Murata Mogo. And this is the first time I'm coming to the House in this new year. It's still new to me. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want first to thank Speaker Honorable Kenneth Lusaka for personally attending memorial service for my husband. Also the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Dr. Margaret Kamar, who also came several times to the House. Also, though not to this House, the Governor, the Speaker of the National Assembly came personally home the same evening when my husband passed on. I also want to personally thank our deputy, I think now acting whip, chief whip for majority, for kindly, she came home, and I know she organized a lot here because a lot of members sent her to my home to console and also to bring some support, my material support. I also thank all the honorable members, all of you, for great, great contribution to support the expenses, prayers, visits who came personally, and I can't really thank you enough. I also want to thank the Senate Board of Management, led by the very able clerk of the Senate, who is also the Secretary to Parliamentary Service Commission. He led a delegation to the House, and I was very, very touched. The staff, is so many, our health committee, which I'm a member, also visited to the members and the secretariat. I can't thank you enough, but I did think that although I haven't been coming, I've been working through Zoom, I wanted to come and give my thanks personally to all of you. And what touched me most, Speaker, is to see all of us. People think that we are divided, both the opposition, the majority, those who are in different camps, those who are in Azimio, those who are in One Kenya. It's One Kenya. Oh, We used to call it tanga-tanga. Everyone, speaker, supported. So Kenyans should see that we don't need war because of elections. We should not have in Kenya out there people fighting because they support different presidential candidates. Here in the leadership, in the House, we are together. I went through this difficult time when my husband passed on, and all of you together supported me. So I really thank you, and I hope Kenyans can take that. And we know that elections come and go. We are all Kenyans. We are friends. We should not fight because you don't support the presidential candidate I support. Kenya is one. Kenya is much more important than any one person. And Kenya is our country. We won't have another country. We should not burn it with passion. And I believe it will be peaceful because so far it is going well. But I really urge our people that we don't have any, even after elections, after announcements, nothing happens to divide the people or to call the people out for anything. Let us keep Kenya safe. Let us keep Kenya the way it has been, peaceful, because we are like an island. We know our neighbors. There have been turmoil. But Kenya, God has blessed us with peace. Let us keep that peace. And you young people, we keep on saying you young people, you are leaders of tomorrow. You are leaders of today because tomorrow is today. Today will decide what will be tomorrow. So think of the country, and the young people should not be used for mischief, for organizing rowdy things when somebody else is coming whom you don't like. When you're out there, just welcome everybody and listen to them. You listen to them and make your decision. But don't fight your friend just because he supports somebody else. That is democracy. If we want Kenya to remain democratic, then we must give space for differences when it comes to politics, but not to fight. I thank you, Speaker, for this opportunity. And when you go back to Kitui, take our greetings, especially to the governor and the leadership. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Beth Mogo. Senator James Orengo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to welcome the students from Maliku Girls Secondary School from Kitui. And it's good that their distinguished senator is here, the bishop, who is one of the very hardworking senators in the Senate. And I would follow the footsteps of Senator Beth Mugo and ask the students to pass our own regards to the people of Kitui. I, for one, people don't know that when I started my legal practice, a lot of work I was doing in Machakos and Kitui. I went to many courts in Kitui, many courts in Machakos, Makueni, the entire Ukambani region. And at that time, when I started practicing in Kitui and Machakos and Makueni, just like in any other parts of the country, there were very few people in that region in the professions. You go to a courtroom and there would hardly be any women who are practicing as advocates or sitting in the bench. But right now, the situation is very different. Some of the most senior lawyers, celebrated lawyers in Kenya have come from that part of the country, Ukambani as a whole, particularly Kitui. Kitui has produced 2 chief justices of the Republic of Kenya, which is not a mean achievement. And right now, one of the lady governors in the country, Governor Charity Ngilu, is in office in Kitui. We did a lot of good work with her in the fight for democracy and change in the country. I would want to encourage the students from Maliku Girls Secondary School that the future is great, particularly for women. If you look across the country, across the world now, some of the countries we never thought would be led by women now are led by women. They're producing some of the best leaders in the world. In the whole of the Scandinavian region, governments are led by women, including currently in Sweden. And if you go to Asia, constantly leaders that are being elected in many republics in that part of the world are women. So the future is great for those of you who will work hard. And you know, in Kenya, we've got a constitution that recognizes the right of everybody. And in this parliament, a lot of you now know that there have been complaints there, and in fact, there was a petition to the Chief Justice that the Houses of Parliament are not properly constituted. We should not have more than 1/3 of any gender in any of the chambers of Parliament. And up to now, we have not achieved that goal. It's a constitutional obligation and a goal which has not been met. And even the political parties now are faced with the problem of trying to ensure that the candidates who offer themselves to run in the next elections comply with the provisions of the Constitution that would enable more women to participate in lawmaking, because they constitute a majority, if I may actually aver and assert that actually the women are the majority in the country as opposed to men. So I wish you well, and hope that you finish your careers, not careers, but your school study and your exams whenever you'll be taking them, and come out with flying colors and be able to serve the country, Kenya. I hope we'll have another occasion, one of you to come back here as senators or members of the National Assembly or Speaker of the National Assembly or the Senate. All that is within your reach if you work hard. Mr. Speaker, let me also take this opportunity to comment. I know I have no right to comment on a statement which is a personal statement, but the statement which has been made by Senator Beth Mugo. I am deeply touched with that statement, and I'm glad that you're making that statement when the young students are here, because I am very proud of you, Senator Beth Mugo, because what you have done to this country is sometimes people don't read the history correctly, that in their fight for democracy and putting Kenya to where it is, you played a role that is beyond comparison. Despite your station in life, you went out there and went to the trenches when occasion demanded, when it was a matter of arguing out in meetings, in rallies. I can tell you that deep down in my heart, the people that I always remember for making Kenya what it is you, Senator Beth Mugo. And I know that was possible because of your departed husband, a true gentleman, you know. Normally, when you look at people, you know, to end up saying somebody's a gentleman, you know, requires you to do a thorough examination. A lot of men in this country are not gentlemen at all. They have very bad manners. They are not distinguished. They don't know even how to have table manners. They don't know what to do when they are talking. They don't know what to say where to say it. They don't honor society in the distinguished way that Ambassador Mugo did it. One of the first very few ambassadors we had in this country. And I know that it is because of him that it was possible to have Senator Beth Mugo in our midst to struggle and change this country for what we want it to be. And I like your remarks at the end when you're saying Kenya is bigger than all of us. All of us. Sometimes we speak as if Kenya is there for people to ban. No, you will not be able to ban this country. This is a country that belongs to its citizenry. The sovereignty of this country is on the people of Kenya. And therefore, whatever we do in our politics, at the end of the day, we should be able to stand for each other as brothers and sisters under one God and under one united nation, one single nation called Kenya, one sovereign nation called Kenya. And I hope that the students today, you remember this occasion when Senator Beth Mugo uttered those very beautiful words and comments on what Kenya should be. And when you go back, you should go back to Kitui knowing there are no borders in this country. We are one country, although we have counties, but we have one country which we must defend and act in the interest of this country to the end. And therefore, Beth Mugo, I hope you continue to be strong and continue to serve this country in the manner you have done. I am grateful to Mr. Speaker for giving me the time to make those few remarks. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Rengo. Senator Moses Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to take a minute to join you in welcoming the girls from Maliku Girls, a very powerful school coming from Kitui County. Mr. Speaker, also allow me to congratulate the Senator for Kitui for being a good role model, because if the Senator was not a good role model, they wouldn't have chosen to come to the Senate. I know that the schools in my county would choose to come to the Senate to come and see their senator in action, to come and see Senator James Orengo, to come and see Senator Pogisio. And so to the young girls who are at this point trying to figure out what they're going to do in life, I want to encourage you that there's nothing impossible. I want to encourage you that gender should never hold you back. I want to encourage you that many, many years ago, Plato in the Republic, he said that women and men are all equal, given the same opportunities. Unfortunately, in this country, women have been left behind for far too long. And so that is why we don't talk about equality, we talk about equity. We must make sure that the girl child is bootstrapped and the girl child is supported to catch up with the boy child. I wish you well in your examinations, and I do pray that in future, some of you will be sitting in this chamber not just as mere mortals, but as a speaker and as a leadership of this house. And I also do pray that since the Kitui was among the first counties to elect a female governor, one girl from Maliku Girls will one day be the governor of the great county of Kitui.
What is it, Senator Enoch Wambua?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know why Senator Kajwang is anxious about my point of order. I am just wondering, Mr. Speaker, whether it is really in order. I've heard Senator Kajwang, the super senator of Homa Bay, a man with respect, say that the girls from Kitui should aspire to come to this house, which is a good thing, but he said they should not aspire to come here as mere mortals. They should come here as speakers and majority leaders. Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the senator of Homa Bay to refer to the rest of the senators seated in this chamber as just mere mortals, Mr. Speaker? Is it in order?
I choose to be informed.
What is it, Senator Orengo?
I think Senator Kajwang was very right. You know, the Senator of Kitui is going home in July, whether he likes it or not. If he was not a mere mortal, he would have some miracle. He could perform a miracle to stay here. So to that extent, I think Senator Kajwang was quite justified.
What is it, Senator Aaron Cheriot?
You know, Mr. Speaker, Senator Kajwang is very right. But he's right only to the extent that he doesn't know that since Senator Enoch Kio Wambua was appointed to a panel otherwise known as eminent persons, maybe he has begun confusing eminence and being supernatural. He needs to know that even if he sits in the selection panel, he is still a mere mortal.
Mr. Speaker, indeed, the Constitution says that leadership is an opportunity not to govern, not to rule, but it's an opportunity to serve. And I do think that we sitting here, even though we've got that very big stature of senators, we should not be bigger than the people that we represent. But of course, in my political formation, we have members and we have eminent members where the senator for Kitui falls. And so it tells you, like George Orwell said, all animals, not all animals are equal. Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage the girls using the example of Senator Beth Mugo. And I will avoid commenting on the personal statement. And I want to tell the young ladies, Senator Beth Mugo speaking here, and speaking as softly as she spoke today, many of you might not recognize her. When Senator Beth Mugo was elected to Parliament, that was 1997, as a member of Parliament for Dagoretti. That followed a lifetime of commitment to multipartyism, to democracy, and the opening up of the democratic and political space in this country. Many people want to jump in when things are ready. Beth Mugo did not wait to jump in when things were ready. Beth Mugo.
What is it, Senator? You are not on record.
I think the senator is not in order because he doesn't know when Senator Beth Mugo came to Parliament. She didn't come in 1997. She came earlier than 1997. If I'm not wrong, 1992.
Senator Beth Mugo.
No, just to clarify, my friends, senators, yes, I came in 97, but in 92, I was very involved, and that's what Senator Orengo was referring to in the creation of the multi-party and other, and DP, of course, the late President Kibaki's party, which I was a founding member and which I served in the first executive. So it is that, it looked like I was already in Parliament. But I competed for the first time in '92 in Dagoretti. But then at that time, I wasn't lucky. But I continued. But after I was elected, I have never failed throughout. I was elected throughout. You are right.
Thank you, Chair. I stand guided. But you know, I was also elected in '97. And when I came in '97...
Senator Abdullahi, I have not given you the floor.
But I've been given the mic.
Not the floor. Please proceed.
Thank you. Dictator. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, since I was elected in '97, and when I came to the House and I was a Kurutu, she was already very active. So as far as I was concerned, she was elected earlier. So I stand guided. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, if I had your powers, I would throw out the senator for Wajir for misleading the House and for being uninformed in the eyes of the girls from Maliku Girls. But I think the point I was trying to make to the girls is that the point I was trying to make before the Senator for Wajir exhibited his abilities is that the free education that we enjoy today and which we think can be improved upon. Beth Mugo was Assistant Minister for Education around the time when this country introduced free primary education. The universal health that we talk about today, that we believe can be made better, Beth Mugo was an Assistant Minister for Health at some point in her life. In fact, she was a substantive Minister for Health. A substantive Minister for Health. And they're the ones who brought in reforms that have given rise to what you're talking about today as universal and free health service in this country. Ladies from Maliku Girls, through the Speaker, it is possible for you to be great leaders in this republic. You've got strong role models. Mr. Speaker, a few days ago, we visited Silicon Valley. And the challenge was, why is it that you don't have a lot of female leaders at Silicon Valley? And there were two issues. One was a lack of role models, and two was the fact that girls were not being encouraged to study science and technology-related courses. The issue of lack of role models should not apply to the girls from Maliku Girls. In this house, you've got Beth Mugo as a role model. In your county, you've got your governor as a role model. You've got many, many female role models who have transcended and who have gone beyond the glass ceiling that is usually set for girls. When it comes to science and technology, I want to encourage you that you can come to this house. You don't just come because you're a lawyer or because you studied some other disciplines that are related to lawmaking. You can come in as engineers. We have doctors, like the senator from Wajir, who has just demonstrated his knowledge of history. He's a medical doctor, and is in this house. We have young people like Senator Arion Cheriot, who is an accomplished person within the digital and information technology space. Mr. Speaker, let me finalize by saying that in the public gallery, we also have the principal of a school in my county called Father Tillen Secondary School. Mr. Speaker, Principal Martin Opere has also come to see how the Senate works. And I know it is your duty to recognize visitors, Mr. Speaker, but I want to encourage Principal Opere, who is representing the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association and is a leader of Kesha in Homa Bay County, to go back to Homa Bay County and to congratulate his fellow teachers for doing a good job. Homa Bay faces some peculiar challenges when it comes to dropout rates, especially of the girl child. But Father Tillen is one of those schools that we established in Bitter Town to ensure that more girls are able to attend school, despite the other difficulties that they face on a day-to-day basis, arising from the fish trade and other pressures of Bitter Town. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you, And I also want to encourage Senator Beth Mugo. In the book of Luke, when Jesus healed 10 people, only one person came back to say thank you. And Senator Beth Mugo, I am so touched that you have taken your time to come back and thank the Senate for standing with you. At the end of the day, we must reflect on the words of Leo Tolstoy, who asked, how much land does one need? At the end of the day, when our work on earth is done, just the way we saw Mwai Kibaki buried, just the way we saw Ambassador Nicholas Mugo buried in a solemn manner, what matters is how we've touched lives, the lives we've left behind. It does not matter how much we've accumulated or how much we've acquired. So I want to appeal to those with an insatiable greed for public resources, that at the end of the day, the amount of land we need is 6 feet wide and 6 feet deep. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Aaron Cheriot. What is it, Ntorengo? And I hope you're not commenting on what...
No. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted you to allow me to correct a statement that I made. I made a statement that Senator Wambua is going away in July. Now, that was not accurate, because the way I see things in Kitui is likely to come back here. So that could, and I wanted the students to go away knowing that their senator is coming back.
I thought you had said he's going back in the county to do some oversight and then he's coming back. That's what I thought. That's why I didn't correct you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Senator Aaron Cheriot.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I didn't know that Senator James Orengo can scare Senator Enoch Wambua that much, that he has harassed him to the point that the leader of the House has to retract back his wrong prediction. It's not a right one. Yeah. But thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very beautiful scenery. The reason I say that is it's good to have students back in our gallery. After the COVID break and the things that happened, we had missed such sceneries that occasionally, for many of us, this always reminds us that the work that we do here is only for such a short time, that there is a generation coming behind us who are looking up to us, first of all, as leaders, to do the right thing for a country, but also, given the very nature of politics, that if you stay for too long and don't do the right things, in a few years, many of these young, beautiful girls that are here will be challenging us actually for these positions, and I believe they will do a better job than what many of us are doing. So it's a good scene to have them back. I want to appreciate that they have taken their time to visit us here at the Senate. This is the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. Of course, it's not a very beautiful scenery today because I see only 2 female colleague senators. But at least in terms of staff, because this House is made up of members of staff and as well as members of the House, at least there's almost a balance. While Senator Kajwang was giving great tribute to Senator Beth Mugo, our colleague, as being a good example that the young girls can follow, I thought also about the staff that are seated here, including our deputy clerk, Ms. Eunice Gishangi, who is a good example also to the students as well. You know, that's, I don't want to get deep into the politics of the institution, but that's at the heart of the leadership of the institution. Actually, she's only one office below the highest office that you can achieve as a staff of parliament. And that's a good example that there are many women that you can look up to as young girls as you visit parliament and interact with our members of staff and members of parliament. It's a beautiful scenery. Of course, I know that the indefatigable senator from Kakamega, Senator Naomi Shionga, is also a good example that has set a good track record, very well celebrated for back at home. I've seen her campaign in Kakamega. Occasionally I get to watch your videos and the things you say, and people appreciate the work that you have done previously. I think in your stint at the county government of Kakamega, and now as a nominated senator. You're also a good example and role model to the young girls. I say this and I celebrate them because I'm also a father of 2 girls. So anywhere women are celebrated, I must add my voice and say, I believe that, in fact, the day perhaps this country will have more women in leadership than the men that we have, then many of the societal ills that we continue to struggle with will become a thing of the past. It's not a secret, and all the men in the house will bear me witness, that in terms of rank of the ability or the propensity to do evil, men rank higher than women. Women have got a softer side, and they sometimes think twice before they do certain things. Yeah. The students should not hear what you're saying. But we appreciate that when women take over this country, there will be better things than what is seen when men are in charge. So thank you. Enjoy your trip back to school. Do your best and may you succeed.
What is it, Senator Enoch Wambua?
Is it a point of order or he wants to inform me?
Do you want to
inform me? Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I cannot refuse to be informed by an eminent person.
Speaker, I just want to inform, actually maybe just remind my very good friend, the Senator for Kericho, Senator Aaron Cheriot, Commissioner, that he himself is actually a Sunday school teacher. I don't know what has happened. He's now started reading his Bible upside down, because in the book of the Bible, the cardinal sin, the senator for Kericho should be telling pupils, including my students from Kitui, who took the fruit, the first bite, and where it went after that. I'm not trying to say that women are more sinners than men. No, I'm just making a statement of fact that the cardinal sin, the genesis of it, was a woman. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You know, Mr. Speaker, Senator Wambua forgets one thing, that if you read the Bible properly and want to lay or apportion blame, then you'll realize that the greatest travesty of justice committed in the Bible was, of course, false accusation and eventual crucifixion of Jesus. The Sanhedrin was a body consisted of 12 men. There was not a single woman. The Pontius Pilate, who finally gave the final decree that Jesus be crucified, was a man. He agreed with the crowd and he said, okay, if you want, I can assure you, Senator James Orengo, if it was a woman, they would never have given out such kind of an edict. If there were 2 women in the Sanhedrin,
What is it?
not the kind of men that were there.
What is it, Senator Beth Mugo?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm not really, maybe I should have put my light earlier when the senator for Kitui spoke. But then I just wanted to add that even if we go with the argument that the senator for Kitui, Honorable Senator, gave us, then it proves that the men are too weak. Because the woman did not really eat fruit. He took it. She took it to the husband. And the husband just ate. So if we lead this country, then we'll be able not to twist the men, but to go higher, to make more development. Men have done well. I'm not saying they haven't developed, they have. But we need also a woman's eye, to look at this country with the woman's eye, because we are created a bit different, and we are given different talents by God. And He wants all of them to come together so the country can really just run. But it's working. Thank you.
Senator Enoch Wambua, And please let us be short.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I raise that issue to also prove to our girls from Maliku that this is a house of leaders who understand their Bible and their religion and their origin. I don't think really the issue is about who sins more between a man and a woman. Those who sin, they sin in their capacity as human beings, whether they are men or they are women. But it's important to take note of the fact that we have a leadership in this house that has got its roots deeply rooted in religious issues, including Islam and Christianity, and that's the whole point. And for them to also appreciate that we have Sunday school teachers in this Senate. Yeah, that man is a Sunday school teacher. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Senator Aaron Cherry. Oh, it's finished. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Senator Rengo.
You know, Senator Wambua is a bishop. And when he talks about the Bible, he talks with some authority. But understanding the Bible requires somebody to know Jewish fables. You know, the Bible is a story written at a particular time in history. And if you take the words literally, they can mean different things. Like, generally, if you look at the Bible, the way the Bible talks about women sometimes may lead somebody to the conclusion that women are not to be honored. But that is not true.
He's on a point of order, Senator Blair.
Yeah, so if you read stories about Jezebel or about Eve or about Magdalene, you know, there are stories which are written in a way that you'd think that women are not quite to eat morally. But if you take it, you know, the only reason why I'm saying this is a story about Jezebel. There's a lady in the Bible called Jezebel. If you read the story in the Bible, you have quite the opposite conclusion of what that woman was. You don't understand that, you know, she came from another community. She was not Jewish. So she came with the customs of our community, which the Jewish people are not very happy about. But if you read other accounts about Jezebel, she was a great lady. I'm scared that actually the bishop here believes there's a Garden of Eden, because that Garden of Eden in his mind is not the true Garden of Eden. I think he got it all wrong because of Jewish fables. You know, a lot of the Bible is Jewish fables. They have a context, and if you take it as fact, then you are going to the wrong conclusion. Because I think women are great leaders. Women did not commit the original sin, and are therefore honoring rather than for abuse. But that is not to say that there are some countries where women are not good leaders. Like, you know, I have a few examples I could give, but let me not go there. But Bishop, I think I need to sit with you. We'll start a Bible study group from tomorrow.
What is it, Senator Ali?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I need your protection. You know, now the Senate, the chambers has been changed to a Sunday Bible school, and I have a problem here. So who's going to teach me what is going on? Because I'm not following, Mr. Speaker, sir. I need to follow what's happening in this house as a member. And now when the two senators are talking about the extremes now of the Bible, and I don't understand it, I will need to be educated. I'll need to be educated. I have no quarrel with that, but I need education.
Senator Wambua.
But Mr. Speaker, to the Senator of Wajir, nothing and no one has stopped you from quoting the Holy Bible of Quran. And we would have actually benefited, the students would have benefited from that. And to my leader, yes, we will have a conversation of a Bible studies session. But yes, women are celebrated in the Bible, in fact, so much. I will tell you, there's a woman called Esther who saved an entire community, the Jewish nation. When there was a plan to exterminate the community, she's the one who went to the king and caused the entire community to be saved. There is Ruth, there is Naomi, there's so many of them. So, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kajwang. And please let us stop this point of order so that we can go to the next thing.
Mr. Speaker, I am a Christian and a very devout Christian. I fellowship in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But when I'm in this house, I am guided by the Constitution. Article 8 of our Constitution says there shall be no state religion. And Mr. Speaker, we cannot, on the floor of this house, seem to project one religion over the other. Even though the preamble of our Constitution starts by saying, we, the people of Kenya, acknowledging the supremacy of the Almighty God of all creation. This house must recognize and acknowledge the supremacy of Almighty God of all creation. But it should not take a particular position that might give the impression that this Senate subscribes to one religion or the other. And Mr. Speaker, at the end of our preamble, it says, God bless Kenya. And I want the girls also to reflect on the words of the national anthem. The introductory words, O God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. It is not, O God of the Christians. It is not, O God of the Muslims. It is not, O God of the Hindus. It is, O God of all creation. And so, Mr. Speaker, I would urge that you guide this House to comply with Article 8 of the Constitution and ensure that even though we've got personal preferences and we've got different routes that we use to get to the kingdom of God, let that not be projected on the floor of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Kajwang. Members have noted that. We go to statement by Senator Okongo Omogeni.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to the Standing Order 48-1 to seek for a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on the circumstances that led to the death of Miss Purity Nyakundi and her newborn baby at Gesima Health Center, Kitutu Masaba constituency, Nyamira County on 7th of May 2022. Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should, 1, shed light on the circumstances that led to the death of Miss Purity Nyakundi and her newborn baby, which occurred at the said Gesima Health Center, Kitutu Masaba constituency, Nyamira County on 7th of May 2022, while Miss Nyakundi was giving birth. 2, Mr. Speaker, state the progress of investigations, if any, into the cause of the unfortunate deaths. 3, Mr. Speaker, spell out measures that have been put in place to ensure that the medical personnel responsible through negligence for the deaths are held accountable and that action is taken if they are found culpable. And 4, Mr. Speaker, outline the targeted interventions, if any, in mitigating the worrying trend of mother-child deaths which have been on the rise in Nyamira County in the recent past. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kongo Mugen, you had 2 statements. You can read them both at the same time.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, on the second statement, Mr. Speaker, I rise again pursuant to Standing Order 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads and Transportation regarding the construction status of the Rikuruma Morembe Road in Mawawa Ward in North Mugirango constituency within Nyamira County. Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should, 1, state whether the project was tendered for and provide details of the companies that won the tender award. 2, Mr. Speaker, shed light on the terms of engagement between the county government of Nyamira and the contractor, stating the dates of the completion and handover of the road project. And 3, Mr. Speaker, provide an update on the construction status so far, stating the reasons for the delay and abandonment of the works, leaving the road to become almost impassable. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator George Haniri. Okay, Senator Naomi Shionga, commenting on the statement of Okongo Omugeni.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. I would want, first of all, to support the statement by Senator Mukeni. Mr. Speaker, sir, looking at the circumstances at which the deaths of Purity Nyakundi and her newly born baby at the health center, the Kesima Health Center, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is so sad that at such a time or period in time, we are losing life of a mother and a child. This is a whole generation that is lost in a facility that nowadays we count on devolution government having equipped our facilities, having devolved function, health facility, health systems or health as a devolved function. Mr. Speaker, this is a situation whereby if the governor of that particular county has a report like this or gets to know or has an information like this one, should have resigned long time ago. I don't think if such a person or such a lives can be lost in this period in time, and a governor is in the office and a mother and a child have died. Madam Speaker, I support the statement by saying that it is true that the circumstances at which they led to the deaths of Purity needs to be investigated thoroughly and give justice to the late Purities and the child family justice. And again, if possible, the progress, this report or this statement needs to be concluded as fast as possible, just to continue saving on lives that are lost in such a manner. It is unfortunate that most of the lives have been lost, and if the Committee of Health, I know a good doctor is here, Senator Ali, I know, and in quotes, you will shukulikia this particular statement because we need to protect lives. Our mothers are dying. This is just one of the cases that has come here. How many cases of such where a mother and a child are lost? I have been a victim of such a circumstances where I lost a relative with and she left a child in a hospital, especially in a hospital here in Kenyatta, which is a very well-renowned hospital. And if at all, those are just a few, how many are not reported? And we are losing lives, we are losing generation. So therefore, I say that, or I want to support by saying that, let the intervention and the investigation to mitigate and to find out exactly what happened in this county hospital so that we should not lose or continue losing lives through carelessness of our doctors who take granted lives of our mothers who expect to get assisted in these facilities. I know I'm a mother, and when you go to a facility, you need to be assisted, and you go there to be assisted, not to go there to seek a certificate or a death certificate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the statement.
Okay. Senator Hanidi. We are going to read statements by Chairperson's Committee, and we'll start with the Chairperson Standing Committee on Energy is not there. Deferred. Chairperson Standing Committee on Health, Senator Ali.
Speaker, I stand here to represent the Chairperson of the Committee on Health on the statement on the activities of the Standing Committee on Health, January to April 2022. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 51(1)B of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Health during the first part of the sixth session, that is January to April 2022. Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee held a total of 35 sittings, during which it considered various bills, statements, and petitions. The committee has invited stakeholders and public submissions on the bills, following which it shall proceed to substantially consider the bills and adapt its reports thereon for tabling in the Senate. Honorable Speaker, the committee conducted stakeholder engagement and received submissions on the following bills. 1, Mental Health Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2020. The Kenya Medical Supplies Authority KEMSA Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 53 of 2021. The County E-Health Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2021. The Maternal, Newborn, and Child Health Bill, Senate Bills number 52. The committee considered these submissions, prepared and adopted reports of the Mental Health Amendment Bill and KEMSA Amendment Bills, which were tabled during the period under review, and is in the process of preparing the reports on the County E-Health Bill and Maternal, Newborn, and Child Health Bill. Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee considered 12 statements sought by senators. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, the committee adopted different measures and tools of oversight during the COVID-19 pandemic, which we utilize to date, among the being conducting virtual inquiries. Honorable Speaker, the committee will continue interacting and engaging closely with the county governments and other health stakeholders in developing and facilitating the development of legal frameworks, policies, and guidelines, and providing oversight in the health sector. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to thank your office and the office of the Clerk of the Senate for the support extended to the committee in the conduct and execution of this mandate. Lastly, I also wish to acknowledge the Secretariat support that the committee has received from the office of the Clerk. I wish to thank the members of the committee for their diligence and contributions when handling committee activities. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of Dr. Bito.
Chairperson, Standing Committee on Tourism, Trade, Industrialization.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to give a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Tourism, Trade, Industrialization, pursuant to Standing Orders 51(1)B for the period from January to April 2022. From the onset, Mr. Speaker, and this one is not on the statement, I wish, as the chairman, to complain that this committee has had a rough time for the last 1 year because of lack of quorum. And the committee has only 3 active members. So when we are only 3 in the part of the 9, the committee has had problems with quorum, and that's why the committee has performed very poorly. Honorable Speaker, During the period under review, the committee has held a total of only 5 sittings, considered 2 bills and 2 statements and 1 petition. The committee also participated in the 7th Annual SACCO Leaders Convention that was held on 22nd to 26 February 2022 in Mombasa County. The bills are as follows. Honorable Speaker, with regard to the bills, the committee considered the following bills: the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill number 7 of 2021. During the period under review, the committee proposed and finalized the Street Vendors and Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill number 7 of 2021, and the report of the bill was adopted and tabled in the Senate. B, the SACCO Societies Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 55 of 2021. The SACCO Societies Amendment Bill is sponsored by the leader of Majority Party. The bill seeks to amend the SACCO Societies Act 2008 by providing for the usage of ICT in collecting and receiving statutory reports and accurate reporting, monitoring, and analysis of SACCO's financial status at any time, being cornerstone of risk-based supervision, RBS. The bill also seeks to realign the definition and roles of the Minister to Cabinet Secretary and also responsibility and office of the control of budget as related in the Act to be in line with the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the acts of Parliament that were nullified by the Court of Appeal in Civil Appeal number E084 of 2021 for want of participation by the Senate. The National Assembly has therefore republished the bill in compliance with the judgment of the court to allow for consideration for both houses in terms of Article 1094 of the Constitution. The committee is currently facilitating public participation to receive submissions from the stakeholders. As of now, Chairman, we have finalized that, and I think it will be brought here very soon. Number 2, statement, Honorable Speaker, sir. Regarding statements, the committee is considered and processed responses to the following statement. 1, statement request on the ban of export and dealings in scrap metals in Kenya, which was sought by Senator Samson Cherargei on 1st March 2022. The committee processed the statement and facilitated a response from the Ministry of Industrialization and Enterprise Development and further shared the said response with Senator Cherargei. The committee was satisfied with its response and the information that was given by the ministry. The statement was therefore concluded. B, statement request on the failure to utilize Tourism Promotion Fund to market Kenya in sports tourism, which was sought by the same Senator Cherargei on Wednesday, 1st March 2022. The committee is currently following up with the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Tourism and Wildlife, and other stakeholders for a more comprehensive response on the emerging issues and other supplementary concerns. Petitions. Honorable Speaker, regarding the petition pursuant to Article 118 of the Constitution, 1 petition on the compensation for victims of human-wildlife conflict in Lamu County that was reported by Senator Anwar Olitiptip. Upon the report, the Chairman, Mr. Speaker, this petition had a problem because it was wrongly attributed to this committee, because that was supposed to go to the Committee of Lands and Natural Resources where wildlife is. This committee has a problem because we are called Committee for Tourism, Trade and Industrialization, but usually Ministry of Tourism, we are told Tourism and Wildlife is not part of this committee. But all in all, because it came to this committee and we decided to look at it, upon receipt of the petition, the committee has undertaken stakeholder engagement and has received submissions from, among others, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. The committee has scheduled a report writing on 19th to 23rd of May to deal with that issue, and I don't know whether that will be functional because we have been told that there's no funds as of now. Priority areas for our next quarter, Honorable Speaker, going forward, the committee intends to prioritize the following business. 1, fast-track pending legislative business. The committee shall prioritize finalization of the end pending legislative business, bills, statement, petitions before the House, before it's Sunday, we go for Sunday. Preparation of exit. The committee shall hold a final report to prepare its exit report on all businesses that was processed by the committee. challenges faced by the committee. I've already mentioned that one about the membership of the committee, Mr. Speaker, and I told you there are only 3 active members, so if one person is not available, this committee cannot sit. Honorable Speaker, during the reporting period, the committee identified the agency to review the standing orders of the Senate, of the orders of the Senate in order to align the mandate areas with interrelated sectors. On 17 April 2021, the committee sought the intervention of the leadership of the Senate to review the functions of tourism and wildlife. This was the reason why the petition on compensation on victims of human wildlife in Lamu County was not fast-tracked, because some of the emerging issues cut across the mandates of committees and that of the Standing Committee on Land and Natural Resources. The committee recommends that the standing orders be amended to align the mandate of tourism and wildlife and assign the matter to one committee. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Ali. Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm a member of the Standing Committee on Labor, and so I'm doing it on behalf of the Chair, Labor Committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to present a statement on the activities of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare from the 1st January to 6 May 2022. Pursuant to Standing Order 51-1B of the Senate Standing Orders. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 51-1B of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare during the first quarter of the 6th session, that is January to May 2022. Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee had held 18 sittings so far, during which it considered various legislative proposals, bills, statements, and petitions. The committee transacted the following business during the period under review. Bills. Honorable Speaker, the committee considered and tabled reports of the three bills during the period under review, namely, 1, the Employment Amendment Bill 2021, Senate Bill number 51 of 2021. 2, the Sports Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 40 of 2021. And 3, the Community Groups Registration Bill 2021, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2021. The petition. Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee considered 3 petitions and is almost concluding on them. These are petition by the residents of Nyamira and members of the Nyamira Early Childhood Development Education Teachers Association on recruitment and remuneration of the ECD teachers in Nyamira. The committee has met the petitioners, the county government of Nyamira, and the Nyamira County Public Service Board, and the report is ready for the adoption and subsequent tabling in the Senate. 2, petition by the residents of Uasin and members of the Uasin Early Childhood Development Education ECDE Teachers Association on recruitment and remuneration of the ECD teachers in Uasin. This petition was committed alongside the first petition on the matter. The committee will be meeting the county government of Uasin on Tuesday, that is today. Actually, we met today, Mr. Speaker, sir, the 12th May 2022, and will therefore table the joint report with the petition above. And 3, petition by residents of Nairobi concerning appropriate leave rights for women who miscarry and suffer stillbirths. Mr. Speaker, sir, this petition was initially committed to the Standing Committee of Health, who then redirected it to Labor Committee. The committee is almost concluding the matter and will table the report soon. Statements. Honorable Speaker, the committee considered statements pending before the committee. The committee, 11. 11 out of them, the committee concluded the statement sought by Senator Petronila Were Lokorio MP on welfare support for Unisable. Sorry for that. It's a heavy word sometimes for my tongue, but it's Unisable. Where is it? Unisable employee and as adversely affected by COVID-19 pandemic had been overtaken by events. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is following up on the response to the statement below. Statement by Senator Rose Nyamunga MP on the status of the Kenyan Youth Employment and Opportunities Project. And 3, the statement sought by Senator Dr. Abdullahi Ali MP on the recruitment of senior personnel at the Jozamo Development Company. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee has scheduled a meeting with the Ministry of Labor on Wednesday, 25th May, 2022 on the following statements. Statement by Senator Gertrude Musurube, MP on the compensation of Mr. Peter Otieno by Sarova Hotels Limited. Statement by Senator Dr. Abdullahi Ali MP on the misappropriation of staff emolument and statutory deduction and other labor-related violations. And 3, statements sought by Dr. Abdullahi Ali MP on the delays in payments of work, injury benefits, and other labor-related compensation to staff in the county government across the county. Honorable Speaker, the committee also resolved to invite the Ministry of Treasury and Planning in the last week of May to respond to issues raised in the following statements. Statement by Senator Cleophas Malala MP on the rampant closure of business and laying off of staffs in the country. And 2, statements sought by Petronila Were Lokorio MP on protection of local investors in multinational companies in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, the committee will be meeting the Cabinet Secretary, CS, Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage on Thursday, 26 May, 2022, on 2 statements, namely, 1, statement by Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. on the directive by the Cabinet Secretary, CS Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage to the Sports Registrar to undertake an inspection of the Football Kenya Federation and the disbursement of administration of funds from the Sports, Art and Social Development Funds during the financial year 2019-2022 to date. And 3, the statement sought by Senator Samson Cherargei, MP on the poor performance of Kenya national team to the 2021 Tokyo Olympic in Japan and the mismanagement of athletes by the Ministry of Sport, Culture and Heritage, Athletics Kenya, and the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, NOC, that is. 10, the committee is awaiting the response on the statement concerning the unfair dismissal of Mr. Levins Mwanyalo. The Public Service Commission formally requested for additional time to get information from the relevant ministry. 11, the Commission of Insurance has also requested for additional time to report on the statement concerning non-payment of claims by insurance companies. D, the follow-up on the committee resolutions. Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee conducted a follow-up on the resolutions on the status of implementation of the County Government Retirement Scheme Act 2019, where it held a meeting with the relevant stakeholders. The committee also noted that since the passage of the County Government Retirement Scheme Act 2019, there have been several court cases challenging its constitutionality and legality that have stalled its implementation. 14. To ensure conclusion of the matters raised in court and thereafter successful implementation of the Act, the committee resolved that parties should resolve their disputes amicably through court-annexed mediation. 15. The committee also is currently awaiting to adopt the mediated settlement agreement from the stakeholders, which may be accompanied by amendments to the Act to give effect to mediated settlement agreement. 16. The committee has scheduled a meeting to get the status update on the Senate resolution on registrations of persons with disabilities and social assistance cash transfer, also known as Inua Jamii programs. The committee has also scheduled a meeting to follow up on the payment of one-off honorarium to the former councillors on Wednesday, 25th, 2022. Future committee focus. Honorable Speaker, as we are almost nearing the end of the 12th Parliament, the committee in the upcoming months will be mostly focused on completing any pending business before the committee and to follow up on the implementation of the resolution together with the House resolution. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank your office for the support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work. I also wish to acknowledge the Secretariat support that the committee has received from the Office of the Clerk